magic.
Ta-da! Hello, and welcome to day one of Self-Doubt to All Out.
And we're twinning.
Whoop, whoop. We did not even plan this.
Twinning.
Didn't even plan it. Both wearing amethyst to channel higher self. But welcome. If you're here, if you're watching, say hi. We want to know that you are with us. We are here for the next 60 minutes for your transformation. This is 60 minutes of free training on how to get hold of your inner critic, do what you need to do with her, and boom, throw her over there with love. And we are live on here, and we are also live on Instagram. But the place to be for this challenge is in our special, unique challenge group, the Self-Doubt to All Out group on Facebook. That is the only place where we are going to be posting growth work. We are going to be supporting, guiding, giving daily questions, interacting with the people on this challenge. And if you don't register for it properly, you won't be getting the emails, you won't be getting the reminders, you won't be getting access to all the replays. So make sure that you are signed up. We are so happy to be here with you. We have got so much that we're excited to teach you tonight. So much. And we're going to be getting very, very interactive with you. We want to know how you feel, and we want you to take part. We want you to ask questions. We are completely 100% here for you. What we are going to be doing is life-changing. And what we're teaching you is life-changing. And that's not just us kind of making this shit up. That's because we know from the clients, some of whom are on this training with us right now, that tell us we are going to be taking core elements from our signature program that changes lives, the real you, which teaches you exactly how to become your unapologetic, authentic, unstoppable self. So what we're teaching you over the next 3-4 nights, and then a celebration at the end on Monday, is literally game changing. We will teach it. You have to apply it. It's like anything in life. If you don't come and just bring it and do the work that we're asking you to do, it isn't going to work. Okay? So we are showing up for you like you are Oprah Winfrey. We want you to show up for yourself like Oprah Winfrey. Okay?
You got to go all in.
You've got to go all in. How are you feeling? Tell us how you're feeling, and tell us where you are as well. We absolutely love knowing whereabouts in the world you are.
I love it.
We love you too. But tell us where you are. What country are you in? Where in the UK are you? We've got clients all over the world, so we get super, super excited to hear whereabouts you are. So tell us. Feeling curious in Texas, in Devon, Liverpool. And for some of you guys, we can't always see your names in Newcastle. So do let us know who it is.
Spain, Italy,
Spain, Cornwall, Florida, Kent, Norfolk, Ireland. From the mighty borough. Love it, Emma. Love it. If you are in our Facebook group, if you click saying you on StreamYard to get access to your name, then we'll see who you are. That would be really helpful. If you can't do it right now, don't worry.
And guys on Insta, let us know where you are in the UK or in the world.
In the world, as well. We want to know. We are here for you. So yes, tell us how you are, how you're feeling. Look, you might be nervous, you might be excited, you might be ecstatic. However you're feeling is totally okay. We just want you to observe it, honor it. We want you to get really used to being able to connect, identify, and manage your emotions and your feelings, because they're always speaking to you. They're telling you something about how you're feeling, okay? We are like 100% all in for this. It's going to blow your socks off. And even if you're watching this, watch it again tomorrow, because you won't take everything in, where you're going to be hitting you with so many truth bombs. It has taken Cheryl and I like 20 years each to be qualified enough to sit in front of you tonight and teach what we're teaching. Okay? You might sit there and think, well, it's all right for them. They got their own business. They've done all the things. You know, of course they're confident. What we're going to teach you is how we became the women we are today. What it took us 40 years together to learn, we put into our programs, and that's what we're going to be teaching you. Our clients who are one-to-one with us pay £20,000 for 6 months to work with us, and we're teaching you what we work with them and coach and teach them, okay? So we aren't just like going to keep all the good stuff back. Cheryl is a master practitioner at neuro-linguistic programming and took years to become fully empowered with the teaching that she does. She didn't buy it off Udemy. no offense, but she didn't. She worked really freaking hard for it. She was a coach in corporate for 20 years. She was a single mum for a long time. She's dealt with a lot of shit. She's very qualified to be here with you today. She's also a master pranic healer. I'm a master spiritual psychology coach. I am a qualified spiritual practitioner by Emerson over in the States, which is the best, in my view, institute that you can be accredited for in that particular qualification. And we have known each other for a very long time.
I'm 50 now.
A very long time.
I've got 5 at the beginning of my age. When I did the live in the group yesterday, and I was in my 30s, and I was like, oh my God, I'm 50. Like, it's the years are racking up.
How did that happen? And the reason that we're sharing this is Cheryl and I were in corporate for 20 years. We led teams. We were middle and senior leadership roles for the back part of our, really, really long career in corporate. And we loved what we did. But we always struggled and suffered with imposter syndrome, and it showed up for us in very, very different ways, which we're going to be speaking to you about and bring it to life for you in the examples that we share with you over the next few days. So we're not sitting here because we've got a psychology degree or some other kind of degree. We're sitting here as women. Life scars. We've been through it. We felt it. And we are here because we absolutely want to be able to show you the exact daily steps that you can take to battle, to conquer, to completely squash your inner critic. Okay?
Like a lot of in the Facebook group, for those of you who've introduced yourself, like a lot of the feelings that you are feeling now, Donna and I have felt and have experienced multiple times. So we know how you feel right now because we've been there, which is why we're qualified. We've got ourselves to a different place, and this is what we want to help you to do. It's possible for everyone.
It's possible, 100%. And we have, over the years, the things that we've learned, we've applied in the 4 years of business. We've taught thousands of people how to do what we do. Women who are now thriving in their corporate careers because they've been in our programs, who are buying the dream homes, who are setting up investment portfolios, who are leaving the corporate jobs to launch their own businesses, who are now successfully embedded in the new businesses that are set up from working with us. Some of our clients have got multiple successful business now, are earning multi millions of pounds, because of their commitment to doing the inner work and the coaching that we've supported them with in bringing their vision to life. They are living lives that months or years ago, they literally only dreamt of, and we're so proud of them. But again, we know that what they do, you can do too, because you're always manifesting your life, you're always creating your life. But we're going to teach you tonight how important how you think is. The reason that managing your imposter syndrome is so important is because if you're talking to yourself a certain way and you believe in certain things, that's what you're then creating more of. So it's all right knowing that, but you've got to know how to reverse engineer that. You have to know how to completely change what you believe to be possible for you. And that is what we're going to be teaching you over these next few nights. We're going to be giving you a toolkit that you can use for the rest of your life, whether it's in your abundance creation, your career creation, your purpose creation, your relationships. You will have what we know to apply. And there's always going to be more to learn, but everything that we give you is what we know to work, is what we know to be true, is what we know you can go and apply right now and start making changes in your life. This shit works, okay?
It works. It works, it works, it works. There's going to be some amazing prizes, which we will be sharing with you across the week. So have to show up. We've got to be in our private Facebook community. We'll be doing spot prizes every day, and we've got some awards that we will be giving out later on in the week. It's very exciting.
The awards are worth thousands of pounds. So if you're in the Facebook group, you're going to be eligible for them. So please, please, please make sure, because we like giving stuff away, and we like giving stuff away that we know helps you with your journey. It's not random stuff, okay? So make sure you're in that.
So let's just get a couple of, we're going to do a few journaling questions, because we love for you to get present. So you're here with us, but we want you to be here, present in the moment. So just to tune in. So share it with us in the chat box and also over on Instagram. So what's your intention for this week? You have signed up, you're here, you're with us. What is your intention? Share it with us. Love prizes. We all love prizes. It's all exciting, isn't it?
And we give
Love
good
a prize. Love a
prizes.
prize.
Ask the guys that have been with us in previous
Yeah.
challenges, and we've got more than we've ever had. So
Yeah. What is your intention for the week?
level up. Love it.
Love it. All in. What's your intention to level up? Oh, I feel a song coming on.
To be all in. Insta, what's your intention? What are you here to do? What are you here for? What are you bringing?
Silence self-doubt. Obviously, the comments are flying up too fast. I can't keep up with them. I saw silence, let go of self-doubt, get rid of limiting beliefs, smash this, ditch all limits, get out of the mind and do what I'm meant to do. Love it. Believe in me. Lean into my badassery.
Oh, yes. Skyrocket my energy. Get out of victim mode and stop procrastinating.
Love it.
Get on with creating a plan and action it. Yes.
Focus on my future. Where do I want to be? Intend to learn as much as I can and put in action.
Build confidence. Do it. Build confidence. Smash imposter syndrome.
Love it.
Apply for the new job. Sort my marriage out. Get the confidence, the ability to be successful in business and put the past behind me. And this is what we want for you. Like, we just want for everything that you want to come true, like to happen. And we know that 99% of the time, the issue isn't you having a burning desire for something. The issue isn't that you think it's possible. The issue is that you think it is possible for you. By the end of this week, anything you want, you will believe is possible for you.
Amen.
Without exception. Because we've done this with over 5,000 people and it works. Okay?
How do you want to feel by the end of the week? How do you want to feel by the end of the week? Love to have your own business. Done. If you weren't angry, what would you be? Rephrase it. How do you want to feel by the end of the week? If you weren't being a victim, Amy, what would you be? Focus on what you want to have happen. How do you want to feel by the end of the week? Inspired, free, I've got this, determined, unstoppable, happier, confident, enthusiastic, ready to take on the world.
Yes.
Limitless, energized, excited, alive, happy, love it, confident, more self-belief, confident, capable, free from the knots in my stomach.
Yes, Renata.
Empowered, determined, powerful. Yes. Unstoppable. I love that. Keep them coming.
And if you watch on Insta, tell us how you guys want to feel as well. If you're not in the Facebook group, we still want to know.
Freedom. Be my most authentic self. I love that. Amazing. Harmony. Peace. Peace.
Happy, blessed, content.
How are you going to demonstrate commitment and show up for yourself this week? How are you going to demonstrate commitment and show up for yourself this week so that you're here, you're present every single night to get the biggest transformation? What are you going to do to commit?
Love that, Nadia. I'll be living out loud by the end of the week, moving forward into a space that's being held for me by the universe. Because let me tell you, the universe is ready and waiting. She only says yes. She isn't ruling it out for you or you or you and saying yes to me and Cheryl. Like, it's all there and it's all possible for you. And you've got to trust us. You will absolutely believe that by the end of the week. Show up. Do something every day to make change happen.
Yes. Turn off the TV, turn off the phone. Yeah, turn off your phone. I don't know how you're watching this, but if you are, it's like turn off your notifications and just be all in for this hour. Sacred space, making time, prioritizing time for myself. And as women, that's one of the biggest things, is that we like to prioritize everybody else and we put ourselves at the back of the queue. So for this week, for 1 hour, you have showed up for yourself this evening, and we want you to do that every single night because you are worth it. Okay? Amazing.
You are worth it. So I want you to give us a score now. I want you to tell us out of 10, Insta guys, I want you on this as well. LinkedIn, wherever you're watching this. Okay, out of 10, how off the charts is your self-sabotage, inner critic, imposter syndrome, whatever you want to call it, right? So like 10 being, she has me in a stranglehold and I'm completely in the grip in life in general. 1 being, nah, totally got this. So that's your first thing. How, like, out of 10, so high is kind of bad for it, yeah? Like, how much in control is your imposter syndrome, your inner critic, your perfectionism, self-sabotage?
got 8, 9, and 10. Someone had a 15, someone had 100.
Write this down because you're going to need to refer back to it at the end of the week, okay? You're going to be referring to this all week. You're going to watch that number come down. You're going to watch that number come down.
So got between 6 and 10. Definitely 8, 9, and 10 is the most common. Good.
We have got some 15s.
Yeah, we've got 100.
We've got 100, and I get it. Never been, yeah. And that's the
Good.
norm, right? Like, that's your temperature gauge. Thank you. Keep it up.
4.
Keep telling me. Thank you, Laura, 4. You got this, girl. Now I want you to tell us how, out of 10, how high is your confidence, your self-belief, that knowing that you are capable of going for the dreams that you have, of living a life where nothing gets left off the table, of completely stepping into and fulfilling your purpose. 2 being bad, like I feel like I want to stay in bed. 10 being JLo styly, right? So 10 means you've got this. 10 means like my confidence is off the charts. I know it's meant for me. I know I can do it. I know it's going to happen. It's all going to fall into place. That's 10. 1 is, Jesus Christ, I'm going back to bed because I just can't handle it. I'm so like terrified that I'm going to fail, F up, like make a mess of things. What is your score out of 10? We're not at 10, not 6, sorry, amazing. 7. Good. I like that we've got some high scores in here. Jane, 7. Yeah, amazing. 5 to 10 depends on the day. 9. Oh, very good. I don't know who that is. It's saying 9. That's so good. Depends on the subject. Mostly 5s.
3.
Yeah. Can't even decide what it is. And this is it. We get really indecisive about it. Thanks, Queen. 7. Amazing. Thank you, Laura. So good. Keep them coming.
We're going to have you like JLo swinging down the pole in Hustler. Like by the end of the week, you're going to be like,
Yeah. Or Jo says she's like a 0. 7, Kelly. Thank you. Okay, we want that score up. So make a note of the score, because oftentimes when you're doing really intensive work like you're doing with us this week, it can be you can forget. You can kind of forget where you started, and then you feel like you're having a bad day and you're like, oh my God, I had a bad day. You'll forget that you were a 0 when you're feeling like a 10. Your 10 will feel like a 1. Okay, so it's all relative. So it's so important that you keep a hold of that.
I'm everyone. Yeah, that's how you want to feel. Like you're singing that song. I love
100%.
it. Amazing.
Nadia, who's been working with us for a while, I love me, 7 to 8. I love that. That's so cool.
Amazing. Good. Okay.
Right.
We're going to get started.
We're getting started. We are getting started. And a lot of what we teach you is some of it's in the book, to Become the Real You, which was a bestseller on Amazon. And I always meant to share that with you because not everybody knows it. And it's got loads of downloadable free resources. So make sure you grab that for yourself too. So we are ready to get started. Queens, are you ready? Give me an emoji that describes how you feel, or give me a yes or a yes. Caleb is not in bed yet.
Or a unicorn emoji.
A unicorn. Somebody said to me the other day, what have the unicorns got to do with anything? They're like, they didn't get the unicorns because they're new to us. So if you're new to us, you might not know why we refer to you as unicorns all the time. The reason is that, like, when I was growing up and when I was in corporate and for such a long time, I just felt like I had a freak flag. I always felt like I didn't fit in. Tell me yes, yes, yes if this resonates, or drop me another unicorn. I always felt different. I just felt like, because of my imposter syndrome, I felt like everybody didn't really know who I was. I felt like I was lying to everybody because this is what imposter syndrome does. So I always kind of felt on the outside. So when people were having fun, I would kind of feel like I was pretending to have fun with them, but I very rarely felt it like really deep in my soul, because I always felt I was playing the part of me. Yeah. So, and I know somebody said that in one of the introductions, like, I feel like I'm playing the part of me. And that's how imposter syndrome makes you feel. What we started doing is, when we started creating these communities and the soul system, doing these big challenges, there's like 2,000 of you registered in this, which is crazy, is we're not freaks. We actually, if we all feel different, we all have this common bond. Yeah. And we all feel like the inside of what we are, like I say, I'm like shiny on the outside and fucked up or broken on the inside, but actually that's beautiful as well. So I'm like, we're not broken, we're unicorns. We're beautiful and we're different and we're magical and we're all special and we're all unique. And that's how we want you to feel. And do you know what they call a gathering of unicorns? A gathering of unicorns is called a blessing. So that's why I refer to you as unicorns. Does this resonate? Yeah? Feeling different, feeling like on the outside. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much. So when you have imposter syndrome, it's this feeling like you are a fraud, like you don't belong. I always remember, I have this really vivid image. I used to do like disco dancing and ballroom dancing and stuff like that when I was a kid, okay? I'm not particularly coordinated. It must have been very, very funny to watch. In my head, I still think like I'm Beyonce after a glass of Prosecco.
Oh no, you did. You look like it on Friday.
Cheryl thinks I look like it as well after a bottle of Prosecco.
Not when people take videos of us in a vet and then put videos of us back. We don't like to watch it back. We just like this.
You're not meant to see. No. Nobody was meant to see Proud Mary. Like, no. I don't want to see what I look like, because in my head I look like one of Tina Turner's backing dancers or something, right? So it's like, but I remember as a little girl standing on the outside watching all my friends in this dancing competition, watching them with the sequins and the sparkles and the leg warmers with tassely shiny things on. And I remember standing and just feeling, and bearing in mind I was probably like maybe 6-year-old at the time, and just feeling like the little fat girl, feeling like I didn't look like those girls. I didn't have the blonde hair. This is not real. I didn't have the blonde hair. I didn't have the cute little figure. I always felt like a little dumpling. I mean, my dad actually called us dumpling or pudding. So it's like, you know, in a loving way. Hashtag aha moment. Pud. I was called Pud. I just realised that.
Oh my goodness.
Go figure. Project much? So it's like, I always just felt different. I always felt on the outside, and I just never felt like I belonged. And that feeling was really pervasive for me. And I didn't understand what imposter syndrome was fully until I was in my 30s. I genuinely thought that when I was telling people I could do things, and when I was in jobs and I was getting, and I got paid a lot of money, this is what scared me. I would get paid more money and paid more money and I was like, God, it gets worse, because I'm lying to these people. I really haven't got a bloody Scooby what I'm doing, and they keep giving me more money. And then I would like pull it out of the hat, or there'd be some fluke, I'd get a great result, and then they'd give us an outstanding rating and another promotion. I'd be like, Jesus H. Christ, can I get off the bus? Like, so the more accolades you get, the more you do well, the more that you're told that you're great, the more it actually makes it worse, because you can't cure imposter syndrome with external validation. And we're going to talk more about that this week. But this is how it feels. How does it feel for you? Tell us. I would have such perfectionism. Cheryl actually worked with me, and for a period of time worked like as part of my team. And if something wasn't perfect, it didn't get out. It didn't get to the wider company. I must have been horrific to work for at some points, because I would think, well, that reflects badly on me. We do it with our kids, right? If the kid has a tantrum or whatever, it's like, well, this makes me look bad. It looks like I'm a bad parent. It looks like I don't know what I'm doing. This is how imposter syndrome affects us. I would put off doing things like setting up my own business for 20 years. For 20 years, I had bought a domain name. 20 years. I didn't do anything with it because I felt like I wasn't good enough to have a business. Who would want to listen to me? Don't agree with that one. Right? And we call it procrastinating. Victoria, one of our clients, named it procrastinating, this putting off the things that you want to do. But the thing is, if 80-90% of women experience imposter syndrome at some point, then surely, like we said before, if we're all experiencing it, that must mean that we're not really freaks. But these symptoms, because we don't talk about, who do you tell? Who do you tell that you feel like you don't know what you're doing? Nobody. Because you know why? We genuinely don't know that imposter syndrome is this thing that we experience. We think it's us. We genuinely think it's who we are. We think it's our identity. We think it's the truth of who we are. Yeah? So which bit of that is really resonating, feeling like I'm winging it?
Loads of people are just saying, I feel like I don't belong anywhere. I feel like I'm winging it. Everyone says I'm awesome, but I can't see it. This is me resonating totally resonate. Procrastinating, perfectionist, damaging myself. Everything I do, yeah. I've always been down, but now it's time for me. Going through this at the moment.
Well, and because you feel like what you do isn't good enough, you innately, instinctively feel like, if I just get another qualification, just get the degree, if I just get that certificate, if I just get that accreditation. So you're working and working. Like I was actually believed that one of my core values was hard work. How fucked up is that? It's not a core value. It was a symptom of my feeling not good enough. I used to be the first in the office, like, and I'm talking like I would be logged on sometimes before 6 a.m, physically in the office super, super early, physically in the office for a good 12 hours. And it was just, it is a recipe for burnout. When you have imposter syndrome, you don't manage it. When you think it's who you are, you then stop trying to change it or fix it. You just think it's who you are, and that's that. That's that.
You don't question it.
I had the same experience with work and just kept giving me more bonuses and praise and trophies, etc. But I couldn't believe I deserved it, and eventually I left, opened my own business, and it boomed. But something happened. I didn't believe I did. Exactly, because you take you to the different job, to the different business, you take you to the new business. So until we sort this out, nothing really is going to change. Yes to all of that, Kelly's saying. So this is why the work that you're going to do here is essential. When we work with our clients in the real you, it is all inner work. If somebody's got a business problem, we do the inner work on the belief, because that is what is creating. It's creating from the belief. You're going to understand this in so much more details, guys, in the next few days. So what does your imposter syndrome say to you? Like, what is the chatter? What is the negative imprint it constantly tells you? Because it's draining. Like, one of our clients said it was like a drill, just like from waking up. One of our clients said another client said she'd get like 5 seconds of peace in the morning, and then it would kick in and start. You're useless, you're crap, you're going to fuck up again today, and all this stuff. And it would just go on and on and on. And it was just relentless. And it's like, it literally drives you over the edge. It has driven women over the edge. It's driving women every day to burnout. So what does yours say to you? It's exhausting. I'm not good enough. An energy vampire. It's a dementor. We talk in the book about them being like dementors, in Harry Potter, like literally sucking the life out of you.
Yeah.
This is why it's so important you learn to master her, guys. Because if she's running the show, you are literally only ever going to do what she thinks you're capable of, which usually isn't a lot. Like, mine called me a fat lazy bitch about 100 times a day. That I was aware of, probably more.
Well, we've got in the Real You program, we'll go really deep into this, don't we, in the crazy lady section, because that's what a lot of you said, and that's what a lot of the clients said. I thought I was crazy. I felt like a crazy lady, that I was the only one walking around with these thoughts and this voice in my head. And obviously you're not going to share it with people because they think you were crazy. So you just go around thinking that you're the only one that's going on like this. And as we've said to you, we have spoken to thousands and tens of thousands of women and men who all have this inner critic, this voice, and feel like they're going cray-cray, which is why we want to bring it out into the open, because 88% of women have imposter syndrome. 88%. We're not crazy. You heard it here. Ain't no crazy lady.
And like Jane saying, although try not to listen, that I'm not enough still comes through. But this is the thing. It's like, when you're trying not to listen, your attention is on the voice, on the negative voice. We've really got to transform the relationship that you have with it. Yeah. We've got to take it somewhere completely different and do it in a way that you've never done it before. Okay?
Yeah.
Amazing. So
good.
When did you first notice your inner critic? Like, how old were you? When can you first recall having that voice of self-doubt? I want you to get conscious of that now. And you're going to use some of that as part of your soul work that we're going to give you. And again, when you're in the Facebook group, we'll be supporting you with this. And just after 9 o'clock tonight, there'll be a post that goes in, and you're going to post your growth work under that, your spiritual soul work, okay? What you're doing is literally going to change your life. And it's going to change your life of how you parent. It's going to make you just better and happier in every area of your life in ways that you can't even imagine right now. So don't chicken out from doing the soul work. Just coming and watching us isn't enough. You're going to have to do the assignments that we give you, okay? Can I get a yes for that, please? Can I get a yes to we're going to do the work, coaches?
4 years, 6 years, I can't remember. Early 30s, think from primary school, yeah. We're going to dig into beliefs in a little bit more detail as we go on this evening. But most of these thoughts, whether we're conscious or not, will have been there since we were very small. We just didn't know. And now we're starting to become aware of it. Awareness is the first step to everything. And this is why we teach these points to you, so that you start to become aware what is going on in your thoughts. Once you're aware of what's happening, then you can do something about it. When we're not aware and we're unaware and we're just walking around doing what we've always done, nothing ever changes, right? So we're starting to bring this information through for you so you can start to acknowledge, wow, I've had these thoughts since I was 4. Wow, now I'm more educated about imposter syndrome. God, I can see that I'm not alone. Like, millions of people have imposter syndrome. It starts to bring it into your awareness, okay?
Amy said, I remember
Good.
thinking there was something wrong with me and that people would figure it out when I was
Yeah.
studying psychology for A level. And it will probably be earlier than that, Amy. Just sit with that and keep going into it.
So we're going to talk to you a little bit about self-sabotage. So again, give
Huge.
me a hell yes or an emoji if you have ever used the term, I don't know why I just keep sabotaging myself. How many times do we use this phrase? We use it with each other.
Yeah.
We're like, oh my goodness, da 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 da. I just keep sabotaging myself.
Yeah. Drop an SS or a hell yes or SS.
I mean,
I know you're doing self-sabotage.
It can be in
SS.
many different areas of our lives, and we'll delve into it. I think probably for me, the most common thing is around health. And I'm much better and on track with health. But I always have this, as a woman, you know, we talk a lot about diet and food and what we look like and how much we weigh and yada, yada, yada. And it's like we have these goals. So sometimes we have these goals that we want to be a certain size or we want to look a certain way. And we know that it's really important to us. And we're like, I really want to be healthy. And then we find ourselves having the glass of wine or eating the chocolate or grabbing the crisps, or like when I worked in corporate, for example, not having breaks, stuffing a sandwich down. On an evening, not eating healthy food, eating carbs, processed food, having a glass of wine. And it's like constantly saying to myself, I'm sabotaging. Why am I self-sabotaging? I know I'm self-sabotaging, but I don't understand why. I really want to be healthy. I want to look like this. I want to be a size whatever. I know that's my goal, but then I find myself doing these behaviors which is taking me away from the goal and not towards, right? And we all do that in certain areas of our lives. So it might not be health, it might be in relationships, it could be in different areas, getting the new job, like whatever it is. But the thing that we want to teach you about this whole concept of self-sabotaging is your number one goal of your mind, your subconscious mind, is to keep you safe. So we all have the inner child, like we've just said, we've had imposter syndrome and fear since we were children. So as a child, we grew up with these and we start to form these beliefs and we start to have limiting beliefs about ourselves. I'm not good enough. We start to feel afraid and we have fear. And then our inner child is in there and it's trying to keep us safe. So when you use the word, I'm sabotaging myself, it sounds so harming, doesn't it? Like the word sabotage has got, it's just like a self-harm. Like people actually say, God, why am I self-harming myself? It's like got this word, this sabotage. But actually, the reason that we do that is because a part of us, a part of our inner child, a part of our limiting belief system where we don't feel good enough, for whatever reason, is trying to keep us safe. So when you want this goal over here, to be happy, to be in a loving relationship, but we're doing things that are not taking us towards that, it's because there's a part within us that is trying to keep us safe, and it believes to have that thing over there, it's unsafe. It believes that it's scary. It's afraid. So quite often when we're wanting something that we've never had before, or wanting something that we've never done before, we stop ourselves from doing it. We sabotage, but it's because we're trying to stay safe. So quite often our inner child, our fear will think, if we just stay here, even though we're unhappy and we're miserable and we're feeling stuck, it feels safer than going for this thing. Does that make sense?
Is that resonating, guys? Have you experienced this?
People are saying like, health and safe, because it wants to keep you safe. So you might not be happy, you might feel stuck, you might not be getting anywhere, but it feels safer than the unknown, than what will happen if you get that thing. So we sabotage ourselves on an unconscious level so that we never get there because we think it's unsafe. But what we do know is when you push through that barrier, when you start to take one step at a time to get towards your goal, we can teach our inner child and that part that is afraid that it is still safe to go to go forward and achieve
Yeah.
it. Feel like crying. Yeah.
And guys, if you're feeling any emotions, please
Let it
don't
out.
judge them.
Yeah.
Allow them, trust the process.
Yeah.
Okay. Like a big thing that we say in entrepreneurship is a lot of women who are really fearful of charging the right prices, so they're working themselves into the ground. They're scared of getting visible. One of our clients the other week launched this amazing service, but then wasn't telling anybody about it because she's actually scared about what will happen when she's successful.
Yeah.
And the impact it's going to have on relationships. When we started the business, I was terrified about being visible because of my abusive ex-husband. So there's all these different ways that your inner critic,
Yeah.
actually, while we say ditch the bitch, that girl loves you. Like, she is trying to keep you safe.
Yeah.
Your subconscious mind doesn't care if you're happy. It wants you to be safe.
Yeah. And then that's the thing with when we talk about the imposter and this voice and this inner critic, and we quite often say we're just going to tell it to like do one and this, that, and the other. But actually, like Donna said, we have to learn to work with her in a different way. That voice, that sabotage, when that shows up and goes, oh my goodness, oh, I don't think I'm good enough for this, that, and the other, we have to start to go, you know what? It's got a positive intention. This voice, this thought are trying to keep me safe, but you know what? I've got this. You know what? I am safe. You know what? Right now, all is well. Thank you for looking out for me. I'm still going to take a step towards it. And this is all around getting to grip with your thoughts, because these sabotaging thoughts of I'm not good enough, I'm not going to do it, I'm afraid, trying to keep you safe, it doesn't mean that we have to then take notice and act on it. We can always choose to do something different, and we'll go into this more as we go across the week. But this is just an acknowledgement of, just because you have a thought, a fearful thought about I'm not good enough, it's unsafe, doesn't mean that it's real. Okay? When you have a belief that, oh my God, like I did in corporate, if I leave corporate and go and set up a coaching business, I have to have so much money in the bank. Really, it was because I was scared of failing. It wasn't real. But we create all of these thoughts in our mind that aren't real because we're trying to keep ourselves safe. We have to start to tune in to what it is that we're telling ourselves and acknowledge that it's just because we're scared.
And if you have a mental illness, or if you have somebody's asking if I have anxiety, mental illness, lots of our clients start off with like high levels of anxiety and stress. I've had a nervous breakdown myself. I completely understand what it feels like when I was in my late teens, which is what started me off in understanding mind and how it works, and how the neuroscience ties in with the spiritual element of who we are. Like, we're very passionate about that, and we've seen many, many, many people completely transform their emotional relationship with their self through doing the work that we do. And we always recommend that you do this work with your doctor. We are not doctors, but we have seen the results of the transformation, because everything is created by your mind. And so often we just our bodies become addicted to the feeling of the disease that we believe that we have. And we believe that the vast majority of diseases are caused by stress or caused by trauma. And remember, trauma isn't an event. Trauma is how your mind translates an event. It's how it holds on to it. It's the emotional scar that it leaves in your consciousness, and it's what then develops and grows from that, and the belief that you create from that. Okay,
the meaning that you put around it.
We're going to be talking a lot about that. Okay,
so what is the one area in your life that you feel like you're sabotaging the most? Like, where does it show up for you? Is it in your health? Is it in your relationship? Is it in your career? Is it in your business? Like, where is it that you feel that you're really getting in your own way because you've got the biggest blockers, because you're afraid? And you're ready now, as we go through this week, to start to face in and lead into that, so that you can start to move forward.
And Sam and Joanne, sorry, that's the thing, because you're saying, like, I believe it's who I am, then so it is. Because whatever you believe, which is what we'll come on to in a second, is what will transpire in your life, because your mind creates the scenario and you then live into that. So what you believe of yourself is so important. We're going to go into that in a second.
So loads about business, health, relationships, career, health, every area, work. Yeah. Afraid of being judged, career, business. Good.
But write this down. My imposter, my inner critic, Because imposter syndrome is about you being the imposter because you feel like a fraud. Cheryl and I always flip it and say the inner voice, the inner critic is the imposter because she doesn't belong there. It is fear. It is your shadow self. It's the part of you that's working really hard to keep you safe, and she's not always serving you in your highest and best, because if you listen to her, you probably wouldn't leave the house on a
And
daily
she's not
basis.
real.
She's
It's
not
not real.
real.
It's not
Okay.
real.
So we're gonna give you some work to do with her at the end of the session today, okay?
Good.
Okay, are you ready for your next learning strategy?
Whoop,
Are you
whoop.
ready? And again, remember, no judgment of yourself, no judgment of your emotions, anything that comes up, anything that you're feeling. There might be things that we say that you have real resistance to. That's fine too, because that just means that you've got a limiting belief in that area. And we ask you just to dig deep into that and just lean into it and not get frustrated at yourself. You can get frustrated at us if you want, but we know what we speak to be the truth based on the thousands of people that we've worked with, okay, over the years. So just be open-minded and allow yourself that grace to go, that's really interesting. I'm having a very strong reaction. Clearly, I'm having a bit of a resistance to this, and I'm excited to see what breakthrough is going to come from that. Okay,
my blockage feels like in my voice and in your conviction.
Yeah,
good.
Which is where we speak our truth from, in this energy center.
And little fact for you, see this little scar here? I actually had an operation in my early 40s to remove a lump that formed in my throat. I wasn't a healer at the time, but I then realized after I got it took out, because it potentially was cancer, it was a goiter when they removed it. But I then learned through the energy work that I do in the healing that it was because I had not used my voice, because I was afraid for many, many years and I didn't speak up. And it actually formed into a physical health condition in my throat. So this is why it's so important to do this work, because all of this fear and anxiety that you're talking about, that you feel about in your body, starts to manifest into physical symptoms. And we want healthiness for you.
Share it, Amy. We want to know
Yes.
your aha moment. So it's so important that you understand how your beliefs work, because they're shaping your life. So I want you to really get this. You have 60,000 or so thoughts every single day. 60,000 thoughts. 95% of those thoughts are in your subconscious mind. They're in the part of your mind where all of your habits sit, your emotions sit in there, and you get your subconscious. You're not consciously aware of it. You're only really actively thinking with 5% of your thoughts every single day. So 95% of what you do, 95% of the results that come from that are from this subconscious part of you, which is being created by your beliefs, your trauma, all of that stuff that it's just life. We all have it. We all experience it. And the thing is, your beliefs aren't even your own, because for the first 7 years of your life, you are just recording everything that went in, because as children, that's how we learn how the world works, how to speak, how to eat, how to tie shoes, how to drive. You're learning as you go. And like driving, you don't consciously think going to first gear, or in American cars, like I'm approaching a junction, slow down, like your brain would implode if you had to sit here now and think eyes, lubricate, blink, nose, sniff, salivate, heart, beat, cells, renew. Like you couldn't possibly. It's all sitting in your subconscious part of your mind, but that's where your beliefs sit. And the danger is that that's like a computer program. Okay, think of your beliefs as a computer program. So the programs that you've got now, like I'm anxious, I'm not well, I'm useless, I'm not good enough, I'm a failure, I've set my business before and it failed, therefore I'm a failure. Yeah, all of those programs are what is just then playing forward and playing out and out picturing in your life and in your results. Because if you're not consciously thinking them, and it's just a program that's running, chuttering on, you get up every day, you do the same things, you think the same thoughts, you have the same results, you vow you're going to do better tomorrow, you get up tomorrow, boom, same thing. Yeah, because you're not consciously aware of the programs that are running. Until you take that program that's sat in your belief system, that unconscious program, and get conscious and get aware of it and change it, you are gonna keep repeating the same pattern and getting the same results. So for example, I had a belief for many, many years, formed from when I was a young child, that I was the fixer. I could walk into a room from being very, very young and I just knew how people were feeling. So at that age, I formed a belief of it's my job to make them feel okay. It's my job to make them feel happy. Okay. Over the years, how that manifests is I keep meeting these guys, the complete waste of time. It's my job to fix them. Got a drug problem? No problem. Got a money problem? I'll fix it. You're homeless? Come live with me. Yeah, it didn't matter what it was. I felt like it was my job. So, whenever I'm thinking that thought that it's my job to fix it, the universe is just going to be giving me scenarios because it thinks it's what I love to do. It's going to keep giving me them until I show up because life is always trying to teach you something until I show up and change it. Tell me what this is resonating with you now. Tell me what this is teaching you in this moment. What is the aha moment that you're having? Hashtag aha. Keep sharing them. Hashtag aha.
A few people are saying, like, I've been programmed because I've grown up and this is what I've seen and this is what I now believe. And this is the beauty of why we're teaching this to you, because just because you've grown up in an environment around certain people behaving in a certain way doesn't mean that you have to continue with those thoughts, with those beliefs, with those feelings. You can break the circuit at any time when you learn the tools and you know what to do and how to do it. A thought becomes a belief when we think it over and over and over. Then we form beliefs. We can change our thoughts. So therefore we can change our beliefs and we can reprogram who we believe we are. So even though you've grown up in a certain environment with certain beliefs, you're here for a reason, because it's time to change that.
You're not broken. You're not deficient. You're not out to you just have a belief system that isn't in line with who you need to be. And you know the beauty of how you know if your beliefs are good or not, or like in line with you? It just doesn't feel good. When you have a result in your life and it isn't the result that you want, it's the belief that you need to change, because the beliefs create the thoughts, create the emotions, and that's what we act upon, and that's the result that we then manifest, create, okay? When we change the belief, we change the whole game. But you've got to know how to change your beliefs. And Sharon and I have been teaching people how to change beliefs for so many years, how to really go into the identity level and recreate who you are from the inside out. Because this is all inside work. It's all inside work. When you are trying to change the result, you are literally just polishing the turd, putting lipstick on the pig, whatever expression you want to have, because you're not really creating any substantive lasting change. It's not real. It will be temporary, and then life will show up again and do its thing, present you with the same problem, and unless your beliefs change, you'll end up thinking the same thoughts, feeling the same way, acting the same way, getting the same result. Are you with me?
And newsflash, guys, you can't change anyone else. So a few of you have said that's what you're aiming to do, right? You cannot change somebody else's behavior. The only thing that you really have control of is your thoughts, your beliefs, is your feelings, is how you decide to show up in the world, to interact with other people. You cannot fix or change somebody else. It's outside of your control. Your responsibility is to think and feel how you want to feel and be in control of how you want to show up every day and how you want to respond and how you want to be. That's what you got control of, nobody else.
This is so important. We have to remind ourselves about this every single day. And to Cheryl's point earlier, most of your beliefs, the things you think about money, about work, about where you should live, about who you are, about what you're good enough for, are beliefs that you've either been given or have observed and absorbed from other people, i.e. parents, significant people in our lives. That's fine. But once you know about it, once you know about this, you can't keep blaming. You've got to take real, authentic accountability and responsibility for creating the belief system that serves you. That's nobody's job except you. So we can sit and blame and go, well, my mum should have known, or my dad did this, or my mum put me in that scenario and then shit happened, or it was him, he, destroyed my life. That's okay. What I can speak to is that I spent most of my life making really bad decisions about men, making really bad decisions about money. When I sat and took complete authentic accountability and said, do you know what? I can keep pointing the finger, or I can say the common denominator right here is me. I am making these choices. What is it in me that keeps making that choice and attracting the same man? Because there's a pattern here, and I'm the one creating the pattern, because they come and go and I'm still here. When I did that, it changed the game. It changed everything, because then I got to create from a different space. I got to create from a belief that empowered me rather than a belief that would break me.
And the other thing to add on to that is this is so important. We have to realize, because I'm just reading some of the comments there, we make decisions, we make the best decisions possible with the resources that we have available to us at that time. So when Donna was making the decisions that she's just been talking about in relationships, she was doing it from a place where she was making the best decision with the resources that she had available to her at that time. Do we then look back in our 40s and 50s and go, oh my goodness, like if that situation had happened now, I would have made some different choices? Great. But at the time, we have a positive intention and we're making the best decisions. So when some of your comments are coming through about different things that have happened, I want you to remind yourself, I made the best decisions possible with the resource as I had available at that time. We're sitting here today and we're giving you more resources and different resources and more awareness on situations so you can make different decisions. That doesn't mean that you start beating yourself up for the decisions you made in the past because they were the best ones at the time, right? Or you wouldn't have made them. Okay.
Self-forgiveness is important, and it's a key part of what we teach you in The Real You, because self-love, self-acceptance, self-forgiveness, we can't love, forgive, and truly be there for everybody in our life that we want to be there for when we're holding this resentment and angst about ourselves. And let me tell you, that's a job that keeps on going until the day you leave this mortal body, okay? Because there will always be work to do on your beliefs. There will always be work to do on self-love. There will always be work to do on forgiveness of self and others, okay? And this is truly the spiritual path. You know, to be in that space of wanting to become the highest version of you isn't just a logical thing. It's an emotional journey. It's a spiritual journey. Living a life of purpose and really wanting to transform and have meaning, that involves forgiveness and love. Not I've got to, or I need to, or I have to, or I should, or I'm crap. It's like we've got to drop that stick that you're bashing yourself with, because it doesn't work. Like newsflash, it doesn't work. It will give you very, very, very limited results. We want to give you results that last for the rest of your life, and you can create that.
Amazing.
So what is like your limiting beliefs, your inner critic? When you're working from that space, you're very much operating from a place of fear, from your shadow self. You're making decisions based on the trauma. Like me, hard work being an ethic. It wasn't that. My ethic wasn't really about hard work. It was because I'd grown up with very little money in the family, and I felt like I had to work hard to get things because that was what I was taught. Grow up, work hard. So it was really a trauma-based response that I was believing was a value. So if your fear was talking right now, what is your fear saying? How is your fear speaking to you in your life? What is it saying to you? And what is it trying to keep you safe from? In the biggest area of your life where you're not getting the results that you want, what is your fear trying to keep you safe from? What does your inner child, your inner critic really think is going to happen if you go out and do the thing?
If you become successful, if you love yourself, if you have the relationship, if you have the happy, joyful life that you really, really, really desire, like what is it think's going to happen?
It's telling me I'll fail. Don't expect too much. Judgment. I was an alcoholic and I have to forgive myself. Yes. Because what does that mean? I was an alcoholic. What's the meaning that you're putting around that? What does that mean? People don't like you, or they won't like you. Yeah. You'll get found out you're a fraud. So now I want you, keep them coming. Remember what Cheryl said? Like that inner critic is trying to keep you safe. She just doesn't want for you to fail. She doesn't want for you to be successful and everybody look at you and want a piece of you and want money off you. She doesn't want your family to cut you off because it's all right if you've got no money, you fit in. But once you're successful, like who the hell do you think you are, right? Like, but I want you to imagine now that inner crazy lady, that inner psycho bitch that you've had this resistance with, you keep telling her to F off and she keeps coming back, doesn't she? She's very resilient. I want you now to imagine that that's the little girl. I want you to imagine that's the scared little girl that was you at some point, and she's saying that because she wants you to be okay. How does that feel? How does that change the relationship when you get that that voice actually is the younger you who is terrified of these things happening to you, and should rather you hated her, and should rather you just resisted her and that you were safe than you ignored it and you go out and these things happen? How do you feel about it now? It's sad, right? Like, she'd rather distract you and tap dance and create havoc than have you go do the thing, because that's an unknown. She doesn't know what happens when you do that. And something happened at some point that made her think that that wasn't a good idea for you. And it doesn't matter if you can't recall it. And I want you to remember that when you have a trauma, it doesn't have to be a sexual assault. It doesn't have to be somebody got shot in front of you. It's just something happened that you were, that your mate was voted in over you in a dancing competition when you were 4, and you formed the belief of, I'm not good enough, I can't dance. It could be that your dad said you couldn't afford the sweets at the sweet shop when you were 5, and you formed the belief of, we've got no money, I'm poor, I have to do stuff, I have to work, right? It's that. It doesn't matter why right now, it just matters that you know that she actually is trying to keep you safe. Crying as I feel this so much. I wasn't emotionally safe as a
There's a lot
kid.
of emotion, a lot of sadness, a lot of wanting to protect her, wanting to love her.
Yeah,
Remember, her is you.
yeah,
So whenever, no matter how old we are now, sitting here, when something comes and we start to feel afraid, it's the inner child response. Quite often we go, my God, I don't know why I'm behaving like this or reacting like this. I don't even know where it's coming from, because your inner child is like, I want to feel safe. I want to feel held. But now is the time, as you're learning this, to embrace her. You. It's you. You want to be held. You want to feel loved. You want to feel protected. You want to feel safe, no matter how old you are, sitting here right now in this moment. Still now. It's what we all deserve, right?
One of the girls just said there, she's doing a damn good job because she's still alive. You're still here. You still get to come to this training. But we want to transform this relationship, because you standing and holding your hand up to her and saying, fuck off, go away, shut up, shut up, shut up. What we resist persists. Write that down. So the more you resist her, the more you tell her to shut up, she's just going to keep. You can lovingly send her on a holiday. You can tell her she's got the day off, but we're going to do everything now from a place of love. We're going to do everything now from the space of knowing that she actually is trying to do her best for us, but she doesn't have our highest and best. Our inner GPS has that. Our higher self knows what's right for us. And we are going to start creating the beliefs that are in line with that higher self. We're not going to listen to the scared little girl anymore. She doesn't have the whole picture. She's operating from fear and trauma, and that's not who you are. If it's who you were and that was what you were destined to have, you wouldn't be here right now. You wouldn't be here.
Good.
Stunned silence.
Yeah.
Just let that sit, right? Everything is possible for you now, but we have to start operating from love, not fear. And fighting fear with fear, fighting resistance with more resistance is just exhausting. Feeling better already. How do you guys feel now compared to the beginning of the call? What's the biggest thing that you've learned? And again, watch this back. Watch it back, because you'll hear 10 different things that you didn't hear this time. We are hitting you with an awful lot. We could have spent an hour just on the first point that we raised, okay? So we're going to be building and building, but these are the things that we need you to understand and grasp before we move on to day 2, okay?
And if there's emotion and you're feeling numb, look, this is a journey that we're taking you on across the week, and you're going to have emotion, and you're going to be releasing emotion. It's healthy. It's healthy to feel emotion and to release it, and just know that this is taking you a step forward towards having a much healthier, happier life. okay?
Look through the lens of love. That's exactly it, Nina. Everything. No more fighting fear with fear. We're going to do everything through the lens of love. We are going to get to a place of just beautiful self-acceptance, of seeing yourself as the absolutely magical, badass unicorn that you are, who is capable, who is limitless, who can do anything, who can be anything, who can achieve anything because she wants to and it feels good, not to prove it to anybody else. You are fearless. You are unstoppable. I believe it, Cheryl believes it, and then with hours of being with us, you're going to believe it too.
You want to communicate with your inner child? Well, you've got some.
Yes.
It's going to give you some soul work, so you might get to do that.
Soul work. So remember, if you're watching this anywhere other than the private, unique, exclusive Facebook group that we have for you guys, make sure you click on the link and join the actual official challenge so that you get to be part of it. And I've been in there, the guys will know, like, all day, and so is Cheryl, encouraging, ask questions, and there's going to be a lot more of that, okay? So the first thing you're going to do, so in a minute, there'll be in the group, there'll be a post going out saying #day1 soul work. So under there, you're going to do a post with your homework so that we can see it, and I'm not ferreting around in the group for it. And the first thing you're going to do is tell us the name of your imposter. You're going to give her a name. You can give her some love. It can be your name. It can be a different name, but it just has to be something that changes it rather than being the bitch and all that. Like, it can be a bitch if you find that funny, or the witch, whatever you find funny, Cruella. Give her a name. If you know the name of your imposter, drop it in here. The other thing that you're going to do is just share with us when those feelings started. You're going to put that on there as well about not being good enough. You don't have to say why, just share in there, like, what's your earliest memory of it. And then what you're going to do is we're going to have you imagine that your imposter is actually your best friend. It's the younger you. It's the you inside you that is trying to keep you safe. And you're going to write her a letter. Okay? And you're going to say everything that you want to say to her, whether it's anger, whether it's love, whether it's back off bit, like whatever it is, you're going to put that in your letter. And this letter is going to transform and transmute your relationship. It's going to change it from fear and it's going to transform it into love. And however you want to thank her and tell her she can stand down now, this is how you're going to be speaking to her moving forward. But this is your chance to say everything to her. If there's things that you feel like she's held you back from, if there's things that you regret that you didn't do because of her, get it all out in the letter. This is your come to Jesus moment with her. And from there, we build. Okay? Has everyone got that? Is everybody with me still? So you might want to put a picture of your letter in, or you might want to physically write it out in the comments. It's on the Facebook group. It's completely up to you. Okay? You don't have to get rid of the stiff upper lip. You don't have to do anything. You don't need to. But if you want to, you get to. Right. Tell us how you are feeling. What's the word that sums up how you are feeling right now? How do you feel? I will go onto that post as well in a little bit and just recap the things that you have to do, just in case you forget. But and we want you to do that before the next session tomorrow night, okay? If you can, just so that you keep up with the growth work.
What might happen is, now that you've unlocked a part of your subconscious, a part of your mind in this training, so between now and tomorrow when you're doing your soul work, you might have some more aha moments if you do share them in the group, but you might have some more things that come through that you'd forgotten or you're not sure what to do with. Just know that it's okay and it's safe. Your subconscious mind will never give you information until it knows that you're ready to deal with it. So you might find some things might come through and you think, where's that come from? It's because it's ready to be released and ready to be healed. So when we start tomorrow evening, we'll be just checking in to see what's happened between tonight and tomorrow, and you can get to share some of these epiphanies, ahas, or any drop-ins that's come through, or put them in the Facebook group, okay? Anything that comes through. But generally things will start to unlock. But just know that it's there for a reason.
And remember, if you're feeling tired, overwhelmed and all that, like, your fear isn't going to want you to do this soul work. It's going to want to tell you not to do it and that we don't know what we're talking about and it's a waste of time and all that stuff, okay? Like, that's also a manifestation of sabotage. So we want you just to acknowledge, and we don't want you to do it right now if you feel like this. But remember what Cheryl said, like, all is well, and you have got this because you are so much more than that voice. You are so much more than that thought. You are so much more than the fear. You are this beautiful being who was brought here ready to create something different into existence. And we're going to do that from the root cause. We're going to change the cause of it, which is the belief. And there sometimes is resistance, and that's okay. So light a candle, have a cry, punch a pillow, do whatever it takes to get it out. But just keep saying, like, this is in my highest and best, and this too shall pass.
Thank you. Thank you for being here with us on this fabulous Monday evening.
Any questions?
What a way to start the week.
Let us know if you've got any questions now. We don't mind staying just fans. Can you list the day one work again, please? So you are going to tell us the name of your imposter. You're going to tell us the first time you remember, like, having those kind of inner critic kind of thoughts, fear-based thoughts, and you're going to do a letter to your imposter, i.e. your inner child, your wounded inner self, and you're going to tell her everything that you want to tell her, okay?
You post it in the private Facebook community.
Yes, please don't post it publicly. We want you to use your private Facebook group for this, the Self-Doubt Rollout Challenge group, okay? And if you aren't in that group and you want to join, then just click the link. It's been ticker taped on here the whole time, or you can DM us and the team will pick it up, but it's on all of our bios, it's in our profile, and you can join and you can pass it on, and people can still join, but send them the link. Don't invite them into the Facebook group.
Yes, you post it in the group, and also this recording is live streamed into the group, so you'll be able to go back and watch it again if you want to before tomorrow night.
It's also for the people who've officially registered. You will tomorrow morning get an email reminding you with your housekeeping page. You are all, if you've registered, getting emails from us. It's hello@nowsyourtime2.com. Search all mail. It will be in the junk if you haven't had it, but you will. Every single person has had an email from us, and you get reminders, which is why we like it when roll officially, because you get all the reminders and you get the additional support in the emails that we send you too.
And there will be a spot prize announced tomorrow for everyone who showed up this evening, as long as you are in the private Facebook community. So get yourself in there and find out who's won the spot prize.
That's one of my favourite quotes tonight. Katie's just saying, thank you, Blue Oprahs. I mean, I love you.
I think we should twin it every night.
I feel like you're going to get a prize for that.
What colour do you want us to wear tomorrow?
What colour should we wear?
What colour should we wear tomorrow? I think we should twin it.
Yeah,
we should just be twinning it.
We have loved having you here, and make sure you do your soul work, okay? Make sure you do. If you have resistance, just sit with it. You're safe. You got this.
Twin
it's
tomorrow.
Safe for you to do this work. It's safe for you to do this work.
Ooh.
We love you. We love you. Our wish for you is that you live the biggest, fullest, juiciest life. And just by being here, that is what you are already setting in motion. You are already doing it, okay? You're already doing it no matter how you feel right now.
Amazing. We'll just get dressed up as unicorns and come tomorrow. Be prepared.
Right. We love you all. We'll see you really soon.
Bye, guys. See you tomorrow night. Bye.